Chris, what is our second main topic today?
This topic comes from BALLZ to WALLZ. Hey, John and team. So what happens now? Johnny Depp lost his first court case pretty badly. He won the second one, but heard one part of her counter case too. I know you only like talking about this stuff when it affects the movies we see. So how is this going to impact the movies we will or won't see Depp or Heard starring in moving forward?
All right, thanks for sending that in. And finally, the long national nightmare is over. Oh, actually, you know what? It ain't.
Yeah.
Because now the appeal happens. And now we're going to have to go through all this again in just a little bit. But the question becomes, what happens at this point? What's going to go on now? So to give a quick summary of the long, weird, winding path we've had, the first court case happened in the UK, in which the court literally ruled Johnny Depp is a wife beater. That's what they said. They said the allegations against Johnny Depp are true. Johnny Depp tried to appeal the case. The appellate judges said, no, there's no basis for this to be appealed. So that got shut down. Then we move on to the US case, where the onus of responsibility falls on the one bringing things. So it was going to be, and I said this for a long time, I said, yeah, Johnny Depp could win this, but it's going to be very difficult for him to win this because now the onus is on him to do it. So it's going to have to see how this goes. This is going to be hard. And so then we entered into it. And yes, Amber Heard did win a part of her counterclaim as well, but it's like hockey. Both teams can score, but the winner's determined by who scored more. Johnny Depp won $10 million. She won $2 million. Johnny Depp wins. So he wins 10-2. So Johnny Depp wins. So now what? Okay, we've been through the whole circus. We've been through all of this. Johnny Depp wins the case. What happens to Johnny Depp? What happens to Amber Heard? Now, before we talk about that at this point, I want to go into the time machine. We're going to rewind here a little bit to back before the trial started when I addressed this exact same question back then. What happens after this trial is done, after this one is done? I mean, obviously we still have the appeal to go, but after this one's done, what happens? This is what I said a number of months ago. Go ahead, hit it. If Amber Heard loses this case, it will completely reframe how people look at her, how the wider public look at her. And if she loses, her career's done. I'm going to tell you right now, her career's done if she loses this. And so what that will mean for like the DCEU and Aquaman moving forward is that Warner Brothers is going to have some big question marks about how they market Aquaman moving forward, or Aquaman 2, because that movie's already done. That movie's made. It's in the can. They're going to be facing a similar situation like they are with Ezra Miller right now with The Flash. I mean, they're kind of embarrassing us, but what are we going to do? The thing's already shot. So Warner Brothers will either have to A, just hide Amber Heard in the marketing, B, reshoot her scenes with another actress, which is not cost effective. That's probably kind of cost prohibitive, so that's probably not going to matter. But it will absolutely mean that whatever happens to why do I almost call her Hera?
Mira.
Yeah.
Mira.
Whatever happens to Mira in this movie, it's going to be somebody else playing her in future movies. That's a guarantee. And I'm not 100% sure that she's still in Aquaman 2 by the time this thing comes out, if she loses this case, a case that is scheduled to last 6 weeks. Then who knows how long it'll take, maybe days, maybe months for the judge to render their verdict. And for the people to come back with their decision. Okay, what about on the other side? Let's say Johnny Depp loses. If Johnny Depp loses, make no mistake, he's finished. Because this won't just be one massive ass kicking he took in a court, which he took in the UK. It'll be 2. He'll be 0-2 in court cases. And then he'll probably lose his countersuit to Amber Heard as well. Now, he has still been welcomed at a couple of film festivals, and now there's a smaller, I believe, foreign film that has hired Johnny Depp to be in it and stuff like that. That's still there. If Johnny Depp loses this, all of that will evaporate and disappear. If now a second court rules against him, he's done. Okay, well, let's look at what happens if he wins. If Johnny Depp wins this case, and again, I think this is unlikely, but it is possible. If Johnny Depp wins this case, I do not think we see him back in Pirates of the Caribbean. I think Warner Brothers is done with him. Warner Brothers is done. So you're not going to see him back in Fantastic Beasts, Mads Mikkelsen was a better Grindelwald anyway, even though I thought Johnny Depp was great as Grindelwald. I really do. I thought Mads Mikkelsen was even better. But you're not going to see him pop back up there, and they're not going to put him back in Pirates of the Caribbean. But I think if Johnny Depp wins this case, I think there will be a couple of studios that'll be willing to roll the dice on him. I think there will be a couple of studios that go, what? You know what? He won the case. I mean, he lost the UK one, but he did win the American one. We'll call it a draw. We think we can still put him in movies and we can have some success with Johnny Depp. I don't think it'll completely revitalize Johnny Depp's career, but it'll at least resuscitate it. Let's put it that way. I don't think him winning now restores his career, but I think it resuscitates him and it'll give him another shot with a few studios. So that's what I thought before the trial started, what would happen now. So let's fast forward here. By the way, there are a couple of lingering questions. First of all, some people saying, wait a minute, you said he won 10. We thought we heard he won 15. The initial report was that it was 15, but it was actually $10,350,000. There was a $10 million awarded for the trial, $5 million for punitive. However, the judge threw out the $5 million, changed it to $350,000 because there is a cap on punitive at $350,000. So the total Johnny Depp won was $10,350,000. Amber Heard won her counterclaim. It was awarded $2 million. She was seeking $100 million. She got 2. Johnny Depp was seeking 50. He got awarded 10. Now, I've seen some people ask, well, wait a minute. If the lawsuit was for 50, why did he only get 10? The legal analysis that I was reading was basically this. The reason that he got awarded 10 instead of 50 was because one of the main points of his lawsuit was that this whole situation has hurt his career. What hurt him in the trial, as far as how much money he got, it's like 10 instead of 50, was the fact that his old manager testified that he had already told Johnny Depp before the Amber Heard stuff that, Johnny, the studios don't want to work with you anymore. And because of that, I guess the jury figured that maybe his career wasn't hurt $50 million worth because his career was already hurting. I guess. The bottom line, though, here is this. What happens to them now? And I stand by what I said before. Amber Heard is done. She's absolutely done. Like, unless somebody comes out of the ether with video footage of like some unknown situation that we've never heard about yet that clearly shows everything was work, she's done. Nothing short of that is going to save her career at this point. She was never an A-list star to begin with.
Right.
I think she's quite a gifted actress. I think she's quite good. Nowhere near as good as Johnny Depp, but I've always thought she's quite good. But she's never been a big superstar anyway, and this is going to end it. And I believe it's totally done. So there's that. I think everybody agrees with that. The bigger question now, what happens with Johnny Depp and what happens with his career? And I still stand by what I said before. I don't think this is going to restore his career because, remember, like it or not, there is still a court out there that did a trial and the court said, Johnny Depp is a wife beater. And that doesn't go away. That's there. Also, as what was said by Johnny Depp's agent at the time, the studios were already looking to move away from working with Johnny Depp because of all the other troubles that he brings to the stage, right? And to the screen. So do I believe his career now as a result of this win? And by the way, we still have to see what's going to happen in the appeal, but let's put the appeal aside for a second. I believe there's a chance his career can be not restored, but revived to a degree. I don't think we're going to see him back in we're working with Disney again. I don't think we're going to see Warner Brothers working with him again, but I believe some other studios may want to take a shot and give him, maybe not a Johnny Depp headlined movie, but start putting Depp in some projects to see how the general viewing audience responds to it and stuff like that. So yeah, I believe his career will not be restored, but I believe there's a chance here there could be a bit of a revival, like a little bit of being revived here. We want to take a second and thank the sponsors of this video, MeUndies. Guys, when you've got a job like mine where you're sitting down talking about movies or sitting down and watching a lot of movies, you learn to appreciate a really good pair of underwear. And this summer, guys, why suffer through junk swamp with that 20 pairs in a plastic bag junk that we normally buy for ourselves when you could be enjoying this summer wearing the most breathable, softest, most comfortable underwear out there, MeUndies. I've been wearing MeUndies for a little while now, and I'm telling you, I am never going back. Because let's face it, guys, summer is sweaty, but your butt doesn't have to be. With MeUndies light and breathable micro model fabric, you can stay comfy and cool all summer long. They have super fun seasonal prints and tons of styles to choose from in any size from extra small to 4XL, so you can bring the beach to your butt without ever leaving your living room. Make it a soft summer with MeUndies. MeUndies has a great offer for my viewers and listeners. For any first-time purchasers, you get 15% off. If you sign up for their free-to-join membership, you can apply that 15% off to their already discounted membership prices. So to get 15% off your first order and 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies.com/Campea. That's MeUndies.com/Campea. Anyway, Rob, we've got this done now. What happens with Amber Heard's career? What happens with Johnny Depp's career?
Well, I think in terms of their careers, you have to look at, like, Johnny Depp has a very deep catalog of movies that he was in. The work he did with Tim Burton, whether it's Edward Scissorhands, when he played with Terry Gilliam, when he played Hunter S. Thompson in Fear and Loathing. I mean, Johnny Depp has decades of really great, indelible performances behind him. And yeah.
And an Academy Award nomination.
And an Academy Award nomination. I think everybody kind of understands the pressures of being a crazy, when you're a celebrity, you turn into a bit of a wackadoo, you know, the money and the fame and all of that. So I do think that Johnny Depp has proven himself, not just in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, but so many other times. Of course, in my beloved The Ninth Gate, which no one talks about enough.
That's a great movie.
Shout out to Swag Props for making me a prop replica of the book in that movie. I mean, come on, it's a movie about books. Love it. But he's got a great career, and I think anybody, like you pointed out, would come back and hire him. You know, and they're going to say, look, man, knock off the drinking, knock off the drugs. We need you on the straight and narrow, at least for the time we're making this movie. And I think Johnny Depp is he has enough industry experience. I mean, all the way back to 21 Jump Street. I think he can come back, like you said. Amber Heard, she never was Edward Scissorhands. You know, she does not have the Pirates of the Caribbean movies behind him or behind her.
Yeah, like if you're at the top of the mountain and you fall halfway down,
yeah,
you're still halfway up the mountain. If you're Amber Heard and you're only at the halfway point and then fall down, you're back on the ground.
I mean, unless they're going to make Drive Angry 2 or All the Boys Still Love Mandy Lane, I don't know if Amber Heard's going to have much of a, maybe infomercials.
I can't even see that.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is you know what really struck at me? It was, for me in the trial, I mean, I was not obsessively watching the trial, but it was her testimony about the charity, you know? Well, I just didn't, you got to believe people. If you're going to work with people, are they going to come to work on time? Are they going to show up when they're supposed to and give you the performance you need and not get in trouble?
I mean, what's Dolph Lundgren? Dolph Lundgren just came out and said, Amber Heard was real nice to me. That ain't going to turn the tide.
No, I mean,
and here's the other thing too. Even if I go so far as to say this, even if she wins her appeal, and by the way, if they were able to change districts and all that kind of stuff, there's a chance she could win the appeal.
Right.
I would say at this point, though, even if she did, I don't think it changes a thing. I think the only thing that changes is how much money goes back and forth between Johnny Depp and her. Other than that, I think even if she wins her appeal in grand stage, and that's by no means a given, even if it does, I still think she's done. I think this one ruling by this jury, I think it ends it regardless of what happens moving forward.
But baby, I would say this. Look, she is a good actress. You know, and ultimately, look, these shenanigans, this whole, it was unsavory anyway. You know, everybody likes to see these things paraded out in public. But really, when it comes right down to it, you know, maybe.
That's a tall order, man.
I know. But I think that, you know, obviously the crazy celebrity relationships, we've seen them over the years. Mm-hmm. But I would like to think that maybe she could come back in some indie movie and prove herself again, maybe.
Because I agree with, like, I also believe she's a fairly decently talented actress.
So too.
But the problem is, if you're, and you are a producer, by the way, if you're a producer, you're not just looking at the talent of the person.
I know.
You're looking for assets that will attract an audience to your movie and
not repel them.
And not repel them. And the question becomes not, can Amber Heard still act? Because clearly she can. The question is, will she attract an audience, or, as you just said, good word, by the way, repel them? And that's what I That's kind of where I think we're at right now. I think she has become an audience repellent as a result of that.
Not as good as recalcitrant, though.
No,
We're
as good as
killing it
that.
with our vocabulary. there.
Anyway, what happens to their careers here, Chris?
I mean, I think you guys are nailing it. I think Amber Heard is really, really going to see a nosedive here. She does have a couple indie projects in the works when you go check her IMDb. Something called In the Fire, where she's a lead in that. She has another one called, let's see here, Run Away With Me, where she's playing a model in Paris that becomes a criminal thriller. So she's got a
Too
few
bad.
things.
That sounds like it could have actually been
Right?
pretty
Yeah,
good.
I mean-
So she has a few things that are still in production. So maybe these are things that could, really catch fire and go. But the court of public opinion is so against her that is she something that's going to repel people from the box office, like you were saying? And I'm going to say, y'all, I don't find her to be that great of an actress. And maybe that's just because she hasn't had the right roles, but I haven't found her to be memorable, or I couldn't see another actor taking on this role. I only see this as Amber Heard. Most of the time, and this is a favorite of mine from acting class, she's really pretty. And pretty a lot of times is pretty useless if you can't back it up with chops. And so I need a little more from her. And these films, maybe they're what we could get from her. But as Mira, that could have been anyone as far as I'm concerned.
Oh.
And I know this is very pot kettle because I'm sure people see my work are like, get off your high horse, Chris Carr. And then as far as Johnny Depp goes, we've seen a decline in his career since 2017. That Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. I remember so many people coming out of theater saying, this really sours the whole franchise for me. He doesn't seem like he's acting drunk. He seems like he's just not trying and mumbling and doing all of this. And it seems so phoned in.
Well, and that was the point his agent was trying to make,
Yeah.
right? That his career was already in decline.
Exactly.
But listen, just because an actor's career goes into decline, look at Matthew McConaughey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just because an actor's career goes into decline, if you've got the chops, and Johnny Depp has the
Oh,
chops,
absolutely.
that can turn around. So
I think we'll see him to continue to be more supporting roles. We'll see him in
To
ensemble.
start?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ensemble roles like Murder on the Orient Express, right? I think he's great in that.
Yeah.
But he's not the lead. And I think it's going to be an uphill battle of showing up in things, doing really, really solid work, supporting his cast, supporting his crew, being an excellent, excellent employee. Because that's another thing. This is something my husband says all the time. Acting is a white collar job with a blue collar attitude. You have to show up and do the work. You are so easily replaceable. And sure, you can talk about, acting methods and Uta Hagen and Meisner and sound so up your own butt about acting. But at the end of the day, you have to be a great employee that people like working with, because a bad attitude and a bad work ethic, that's really going to be the nail in the coffin. And if you're pulling down productions with your antics, he's got a lot of redemption too on his end as well.
all right, guys, question is for you. What happens now to the careers of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard? I mean, they are going to go in different directions. How much, to which extreme do they go? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.